Today I'm going to teach you some of the best ghost note exercises. So let's get started. Hey everyone, my name is Gabe and I'm from drumbeatsonline.com. Today we're talking about ghost notes. And ghost notes are super hip right now, and for really good reason. Ghost notes sound really great. They make your beats have more feel to them, and everything about them is just really, really cool. But if you're a beginner, you might not know how to come up with ghost notes, and you might not even know what ghost notes are. So let me explain really, really quick. So let's say a normal snare hit, you're bringing your stick about 12 inches off of the drum. A ghost note would be bringing your stick about 3 to 4 inches off of your drum. So it's a very, very quiet note that's generally played in between some of the louder notes in your beats. So if a regular snare hit sounds like this, a ghost note sounds like this. Very quiet, but it just adds the right amount to make your beat feel awesome. So let's jump right in to our first exercise to get us more familiar with ghost notes. The first exercise sounds like this. So we're not going to focus a ton on the beat here, but I'll explain it to you so that you're able to play it. What we're doing is we're playing eighth notes on the hi-hat. So we're fitting 8 notes into a measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is how I'm counting it. And I'm just hitting my kick drum on beat 1. Let's just keep it at that. Let's not get too fancy or anything. So that sounds like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand that was playing on the hi-hat, and on beats 2 and 4, we're going to hit our snare drum with our right hand. So real quick, that would sound like this. So now what we're going to do with our left hand is we're going to fill in all the notes in between with ghost notes on the snare drum. So now it's going to turn into a 16th note beat. So the ghost notes are now playing on the E and the of every beat. So now we're counting it 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So just like if we were playing 16th notes on the hi-hat, like this, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and we're just moving our left hand onto the snare drum. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So I'm gonna play that beat nice and slow and try to pay attention, and if you can, try to follow along. All together, that would sound like this. So that is one really great ghost note exercise that can just get you used to playing some light notes on the snare drum, because it's hard to get used to. It's not a common concept. We're kind of used to hitting the snare drum hard because it's like the main accent of every beat. So if you can't quite get that, just keep working on it. Maybe just play 16th notes on the hi-hat for a while and then just move your left hand over. And hopefully you'll get it. I know you can. Just take it slow and work your way up. So now let's move on to exercise number 2. Exercise number 2 is a little bit trickier because we're not playing the ghost notes in between everything. That kind of takes the guesswork out of it. Now we have very specific notes that we're doing. But first, let me explain to you the beat real quick. We're playing pretty much the same thing. We're doing eighth notes on the hi-hat, and we're just going to do kick drum on beat 1 and snare drum on beats 2 and 4. But with the ghost notes, we're going to play on the E of beat 1, so we're counting it in 16th notes, and we're playing on the of beat 2 and the E of beat 3. So I'm going to play it for you and just try to listen for it and try to play along if you can. That sounds like this. So those ghost notes might be a little bit harder to memorize because they're on very specific beats. So just try your best with it and spend a little time on it, and I know that you'll get it. So now let's move into our tip of the day. We've actually got a couple for you. So our first tip is don't overcompensate your normal hits. What I'll see a lot in my students is I'll tell them ghost notes are very quiet, play 3 inches away from your drum, and then your normal hit is about 12 inches. So what I'll see is people go like this. Please don't do that. Play your snare hits just like you normally would, but just play your ghost notes quieter than your normal snare hits. You don't need to make your accents like pounding on your drums. I don't want you to be breaking your snare heads or anything like that because that's expensive. So yeah, just play normally, but just make sure your ghost notes are nice and quiet in between that. The second tip of the day is practice this anywhere. If you have a practice pad, it's a really, really great thing because playing that quietly takes a lot of control, and that's hard to have. So if you're watching TV, if you're hanging out, if you have a lap and some sticks, you can play a beat and maybe play some little quiet ghost notes in between it. That can be really, really helpful. So if you're looking for some of my best drum lessons that are full length and in depth, check out my brand new drum lesson package called Ultimate Beginner Drum Lessons. If you want, you can check that out right here. It would mean a ton to me. I've put a lot of work into these, and I think you're going to love them. But if not, check out my last YouTube lesson right here. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. It means so much to me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.